So, you have a movie for me?
I am a collector.
Australian legends.
This is...
And go.
What's up everyone, it's Adam from FWCI, and let's have a look at the X-Men First Class pitch meeting. I'm smashing through these X-Men pitch meetings and loving it because the X-Men movies are... MCU's doing great, but the X-Men franchise is probably the more sentimental movie franchise out of, any of the superhero stuff that's been going on. Again, the MCU is a juggernaut, but I'll always have a soft spot in my heart for the X-Men story. This is First Class, which saw it in the movies when it came out and didn't think much of it, to be honest. I went back and rewatched it again in anticipation of doing this, and the missus has never seen the X-Men movies, so we're giving them a watch through. And I enjoyed it a lot more this last go around. I thought there was a lot more to it, stuff that I didn't notice the first time. So my opinion on this is actually kind of in limbo at the moment. I'm not entirely sure. It definitely isn't as good as Days of Future Past, which is coming up, and I can't wait to check that one out as well. But before we have a look at this one, what does Aussie Pitch Meeting Guy think about X-Men First Class? So, have you started rebuilding our X-Men franchise yet? Yes, sir, I have. In this one, we're taking it all the way back to the 60s. So who's in this one? Oh, we've got young versions of all the main characters. It's like Tiny Toons. We've got young Charles, young Eric, young Mystique. Are there any new characters? Sure are. We've got Red Nightcrawler, we've got Cyclops' older brother, we've got this Mosquito Girl who works in a strip club, and I want to add two amazing classic characters from X-Men history. I was thinking Emma Frost and Morph. Morph? Who wants to see Morph? No. We need a guy with, like, tornado hands, for example. What? Did you say tornado hands? Yeah, like, tornado hands, like...
I call this one Tracy, and I call this one Yazoo.
Okay, tornado hands. Don't let me down, Logan. What the fuck was that?
His name's Nibbles, he's the guy who does stupid stuff when he gets high.
I don't know what the deal with tornado hands was. I don't understand why there was a guy with tornado hands. He was just he didn't look like he was from the 60s either. He just stood out like a sore thumb, and that character was a waste. But out of curiosity, what would you guys have said if Morph had been brought into the X-Men movie world? Do you want to see Morph in future X-Men properties? I guess we're getting X-Men 97. Yes. So hopefully, I'm sure he'll pop up in that, because he's definitely a part of that continuity, unless he dies in it. He doesn't die in the first episode, I remember that much. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the character Morph, and is that someone you wanted to see in live action? But let's have a look at the X-Men First Class pitch meeting from Ryan George and Screen Rant.
So, you have an X-Men movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. And this one's gonna take place in the past.
Oh, so is this like a prequel or a reboot?
Yes.
Well, okay then.
So we're gonna start off in a Nazi concentration camp, and this bad guy Shaw is gonna kill Magneto's mom.
Well, that's not very nice of him.
It's not. So then Magneto's powers get unleashed, and he just destroys everything. He kills guards, he shoots metal everywhere.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, so this guy Shaw is like, oh, okay, good to know. Your powers are unlocked by pain and anger.
Wait, Magneto didn't do anything to the guy that actually killed his mom?
Nothing at all, because we still need him for the rest of the movie.
Oh, okay,
so he needs to not
though.
get hurt. And at the same time, we're gonna have baby
But
Mystique
still.
break into the X-Mansion and meet baby Professor X.
Why does she break in there?
Because she's scared and hungry, so she wants to look in the fridge.
She's a hungry child, so she breaks into a mansion and raids the fridge?
That's what we're going with.
Huh.
Then we're gonna jump forward like 20 years, and grown-up Magneto's gonna be on the hunt for Shaw because he wants revenge.
Wait, what happened in those 20 years?
Unclear. How did he escape from Shaw?
I don't know.
Why is he just now on the path to revenge? Because this is when the story starts.
Well, okay.
So anyway, Magneto tracks down some former...
With that being said, maybe he's always been on the path to revenge, and this is just... Nah, that doesn't make sense, because, yeah, he still has the coin and everything anyway. Good point, Green Rant. Good point.
for Nazis in a bar because they'll know where Shaw is.
Okay.
great
And then he
scene.
kills them.
But he gets information from them first?
No, he just kills them.
Well, it's gonna be tough for him to find Shaw if he just killed the guys who know where he is.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yes, in the bar, he sees a picture of Shaw on a boat in Miami.
Okay.
Yeah, so he knows that Shaw is on a boat in Miami, and there's no need to question them at all. But
It's convenient. Convenient.
that picture could have been taken at any point in time, and since he's on a boat, he could be anywhere in the world by now.
And he hasn't aged either.
It turns out he is still on a boat in Miami, so it all works out.
Oh, and what's going on with him now?
Well, it turns out Shaw can absorb energy and reuse it, and he also has a couple of other bad guys on his crew.
Oh, yeah?
Well, there's Emma Frost, who's a telepath and can turn to diamonds.
There's Nightcrawler, but red,
And there's a guy who makes tornadoes sometimes.
wow, and what's Shaw's plan here?
Well, he wants to trick the USA and Russia into starting a nuclear war so all the humans can die and the mutants can survive. If he has a telepath and a teleporter, can he just get into the specific room he needs to fire the missiles himself? Probably, but he's gonna go with this complicated plan instead.
How come?
So
Yeah.
the X-Men can stop him.
Fair enough.
Anyway, so Professor X is gonna end up going to talk to the government.
Yeah, Emma Frost is almost as powerful as Xavier, and I mean, you know, you've got what was the other one? Telepath and a teleporter. Yeah, Red Nightcrawler could easily just be like, pff, easy, 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 easy.
And then he's gonna do this cool thing where he just freezes everybody just so he can talk to one person.
Oh, he can freeze everybody. That's gonna be useful moving forward.
Yeah, you'd think so. So then he and Magneto are gonna go on a little recruitment mission and make a team of mutants.
Oh, that's fun.
And we're gonna find out how they all got their nicknames.
How does that happen? They gave them to each other.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Anyway,
They all get shit-faced and give each other nicknames. Yeah, this is the dialogue in this movie where is it Moira? I think it's at the end. She goes, "You're X-Men." That comes completely out of nowhere and has no like actual link to anything that's said prior to that. She just plucks the letter X out of thin air.
Shaw is gonna end up attacking the base where they're all hanging out.
Why does he do that?
Well, he goes to see them like, hey, you guys want to join me? And most of them are like, no, so he's like, okay, never mind.
Why doesn't he kill them?
Well, he does kill one of them, but only because he tried to attack him.
Well, who does he kill?
This dude named Darwin, and he has the power to adapt to anything to survive.
So how does Shaw kill him?
With like a ball of energy. And how come he's not able to adapt to that?
Because. Fair enough.
There's also this dude, Hank McCoy, that really wants to find a cure to some of the weird physical stuff that comes with being a mutant.
Oh, right, because he's blue and hairy, right?
Not yet, actually. He just has some weird feet, but he wants a way to hide them.
What about, shoes?
Meh.
Oh, ignoring the existence of shoes is tight. What's up with your toes?
You can't see my toes right now.
Sure I can.
Anyway, so Hank ends up making the serum using Mystique's blood. But right before the big final fight, he tries it, and that turns him blue and hairy.
Why would he test something like that right before going to save the world? He wanted to look good for the big fight, I guess. Pretty weird priorities.
He didn't want the bad guys to
Yeah.
laugh at his feet.
I guess that would hurt his feelings, which could be distracting.
We're also gonna have this thing where Emma Frost is in custody.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and she's gonna show the guards that she can easily escape.
Well, why doesn't she? I don't know. Well, okay.
And then later, Shaw is gonna absorb the energy from a nuclear core.
Oh, I bet he's gonna do something cool with that.
Nope.
Oh, okay, never mind.
And so we're gonna end up in a situation where the X-Men have to deal with a Cuban Missile Crisis or something.
Oh, we are?
Yeah, there's gonna be a ship full of Americans and a ship full of Russians, and the X-Men have to stop them all from starting a war. Well, good thing Professor X has the ability to freeze large groups of people, as established earlier in the movie. Yeah, well, he's not gonna do that, though.
Why not?
Well, because by the time I got to writing
the
this
ocean?
scene, I forgot that I established that power, so he's not gonna use it.
Fair enough.
And so then he's gonna get hit by a deflected bullet in the spine, and that's how he loses.
Hang on, it wouldn't have mattered anyway because the bad guys took over one of the ships, and they were both of the Americans and the Russians didn't want to do it. It was Shaw and his cronies.
Control of his legs. They didn't have bulletproof suits or anything. Actually, we're gonna make a point of having Hank make bulletproof suits. And Professor X is the one that points out that they're bulletproof.
I guess Hank is just really bad at making stuff.
I guess so. So then as Professor X is lying there paralyzed, Magneto's gonna be like, all right, who wants to join?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Magneto's super magnetism was too much for the suit.
my team. Let's go.
Not really the time for that.
Not really, but they're gonna split up and Red Nightcrawler is gonna teleport them away.
So how do the other mutants leave?
Unclear, sir. Aren't the American and Russian forces still right there?
They are. Huh.
So what do you think? Well, honestly, I think it might be a little risky to go back in time like this. We might make some mistakes that mess up the timeline.
Don't worry about that, sir. I got it under control. All right, if you're sure.
100%.
Yeah, the X-Men timeline does get a little bit messy. That's why I think Days of Future Past was such a genius movie to make. Like, they really did a good job trying to retcon a bunch of stuff from Last Stand, and I guess some stuff from this as well. But there is the whole thing where Professor X, they're like, well, he looks like this in the 70s, and then by the 90s he looks like this. Is this 20 years of aging? And it's like, you know, James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart, like, you know, there's not 20 years between the two of them. So, yeah, not without its flaws, the X-Men franchise, but I take that on the chin because it was really you had the Batman movies in the 90s, and they were like, okay, they were great for like kids and stuff like that, but really you go back and watch them and you're like, oh god, this is like barely Batman when you really think about it. And then we've got the X-Men was basically the next one. I think Fantastic Four came after that. Loved them. Like, they were so good. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine was such a weird choice, but by the time we get to Days of Future Past, man, he is a huge jacked man, not just Hugh Jackman. So, Hugh Jackman, huge jacked man. All of that. All of it. I am incredibly tired. Let me know in the comments what you guys have to say about the X-Men franchise or X-Men First Class. I'm going to keep going through the X-Men pitch meetings and doing my little Aussie pitch meeting sketches at the start just because I love this franchise so much. I'm pretty new to the whole YouTube thing still, so I'm still, you know, just trying to learn some skills and editing skills and joke writing and stuff like that as well so I can start doing more original content. But thank you for joining me, everyone, and as always, be well, stay safe, look after your friends, see you in the next video. Peace!